Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Students, last time we stopped with fifth chapter, right? Geometrical optics, right? In this chapter we did reflection. Right, we started refraction. Okay, I'll do a small recap on this, right, and I'll continue the class. Okay, we studied that when a light ray penetrates from one medium to another medium, right, a path change can be occurred, right. It can be either go in this direction or in this direction, right. The path change is known as a refraction, right. This refraction always takes place because of the velocity change of the light, right, in both of the medium, right. In this medium it will show a velocity. At the same time, if it goes inside another medium, right, in that medium another velocity is going to be shown, right. These are happening very suddenly, right, at this point, right. Because of that sudden change, the path change can be occurred, right. That is known as the refraction, right. You know what is a refraction, and we studied the laws of refraction. Right, in the laws of refraction, we studied that if the light ray is going from this medium to this medium, right, if you take this medium as 1 and this medium as 2, right, the refractive index of this medium, right, where the light ray is penetrating, right, refractive index of this medium is going to be equal to sine I over sine R. Right, what is I? This is the incident ray, this is going to be the refracted ray, this is the normal, right, the angle between the normal and the incident ray is I, right, angle between the refracted ray and the normal is going to be R, right. Therefore sine value of this divided by the sine value of this is going to be a constant always, which is known as the refractive index of the medium, right. This is always going to be constant, right, like the law that we have discussed in the reflection. What is the law of reflection? The incident angle is equal to reflected angle, right. The same as here, right, it's not equal, but we are considering some relationship between the I and R, right, with the sine value, right. This has been found by a scientist known as Snell, right. That's why we are calling this as Snell's law, right. This part as Snell's law, right. Sine I over sine R, right. The meaning of this is, if you increase the I, then you are going to get a new value of I. I'll tell this I new, right. For that I new value, the R also going to be another new value, R new, right. If you get the sine I new divided by sine R new, right, again this the fraction is going to give you the same value of n, right. For several I values, right, if you take the particular R value and if you find the sine values of the both, and if you get this fraction, that fraction is going to give you the same value, right, continuously, right. That's why we are calling this value is a constant. That constant is known as the refractive index of that medium, right. Then we know how to find the refractive index of the medium, right. When the objective, when the light ray is penetrating from the rare medium to dense medium, then it will refract towards the normal, right. When the light ray goes from the what dense medium to rare medium, right? It will go away from the medium, away from the normal, right? That is the next thing. That is the next thing that we learned already in our physical class, right? Physically, the class which have been done physically last time, right? And what else? Right. The real depth and the apparent depth. Using the concept of real depth and apparent depth, we concluded that the refractive index of the medium, right, where the object is, right, refractive index of the medium where the object is, right, is going to be equal to real depth divided by apparent depth. Right, we concluded an equation like this as well. Now you know this amount of knowledge about the refraction, right? Okay, we'll continue this refraction further, right? Before we move to this part, we just think about the refraction takes place in a glass block. Think about a glass block. You know what is glass block? So think about a refraction in a glass block, right? Now a light ray is going to penetrate the glass block. What is going to happen? Here you have air. This is glass. Okay, after the penetration, if the ray comes out, this is going to be the air medium. Right, inside the air medium, a glass has been placed. Right, I'll take this somewhere here. Right, this is going to be I. You know, if the glass is not there, the ray is going to move in this direction. Right, but since the glass is going to refract this the light ray towards the normal, and this is going to move like this with an R. Right, you know this I is greater than R. Okay, now here the incident ray is going to be this. Here the refracted ray is this. For this interface, right, this is the incident ray. Here I can say this R is equal to this R, because this is the perpendicular line. At the same time, this is also the perpendicular line for these two parallel lines. Okay, therefore these two are going to be parallel. Therefore this is like the angle inside the Z, right? Then this is going to be the R. Okay, the ray which should move in this direction, because of this interface, is going to go away from the normal. Right, again this is going to be the same I, don't worry about it, right? Keep this in your mind, right? Then if you consider a light penetration, right, inside a glass block, right, it's going to take a pattern like this. The first thing, note it down, pause the video and note it down. Okay, now we think about the thing what happened in this actually, right? You don't think about the glass block. Now you just think a glass means a glass slab, right, which has two parallel sides, right, with a long length, not a block, it's a long length which has a width, right, with a width, a glass block, a glass slab like this, also going to show you the pathway of the penetration of a light ray is going to be like this, right? Here these two sides are parallel. Okay, what happens if these two sides are not parallel? Here you have a width, right? here you have a width, right? It's a glass slab with non-parallel opposite sides, right? What's going to happen? Okay, now the light ray is going to penetrate. Here the normal is going to be like this. The light ray which should move in this direction is going to move towards the normal. Again, it's going to strike on this interface, and this is going to be the normal of this interface, right? This should be the pathway of this light ray, right? Since it's going to move from the glass to AR, right? From dense to rare, right? Therefore, it's going to move away from the normal. This is going to go outside from the glass in this way, right? Then the pathway of the glass, the light ray is going to be like this in a non-parallel glass length. Okay, for the parallel it's going to be like this. For the non-parallel it's coming towards this side. Okay, now we'll move to the lenses. Right, lenses. I hope you have drawn this, but if you not, you pause the video and draw it. A lens. In your syllabus, you have two lenses. You have to know about two lenses, right? Like the mirror. One is known as convex. The second one is concave. The shape of the convex lens is going to be like this, and the shape of the concave is going to be like this, right? First of all, we try to understand some behavior of this convex and the concave lens with the light ray, right? Now think about the half above from the midpoint, the half above of the convex lens and the half above of the concave. Here, now think a line like this. Here you have two non-parallel lines, right? And here also you have two non-parallel lines, and here also you have two non-parallel lines, right? Which are very similar to this shape. There is a collection of that shape, right? The same way here also, in the downside also, you have the same thing. Now think about light rays which are going from or coming parallel to each other. A light ray coming like this, which are striking on the surface of convex lens. What is going to happen? After the reflection, it's going to move like this. A small reflection, and it will move like this. Small reflection, because it should have a shape like this, right? And it will take a shape like this. The refraction always takes place like this, right? Again, this is in the opposite line. This is going to go like this. A refraction, and it's going to be like this, right? Therefore, the rays which are striking on the convex lens has been converged, right? Then the convex lens has an ability of converging, right? Therefore, we are calling this as convergent lens, right? Concave, it's in the opposite side. Think it's like this. Then the light ray which is striking on this, it's going to move like this. Therefore, this has an ability of diverging, right? Therefore, we are calling this concave lens as divergent lens, right? Why converging? I have explained. Why diverging? I have explained, right? Then always concave try to diverge the light rays, right? This try to converge the light rays, right? That is the main thing that you should know, right? After the divergent and the convergent, right? After diverging the rays and the converging the rays, there will be some images going to be formed, right? Because of the converging of these rays, right? That images is going to form for an object which are placed in front of the lenses, right? Place to place is going, the character of the image is going to get differ, right? Then how it's going to get differ, how we can understand it, that is what we are going to learn under the lenses, right? Now you know what is lens and what is the main activity of the lens, right? We will see the rest or the ray diagrams which has been drawn in the convex and the concave lenses in the next class, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khair.